I have reviewed Legacy of Speed Spotlight cars, but not just that. I have also reviewed few car hunt cars as well. The free options they were also going to be featured in DS12, so I thought it would be better to bring them in the discussion. So this is all you need to know from worst to the best if you are trying to decide going for them. However, if you disagree with anything, then let me know your opinion in the comment section. First, we have to discuss Mitsubishi Lancer, which is uncontested king of the game. So much uncontested that it is a tiger which does not race with the dog to prove itself on the track. If you think you can get any car in the game, think again. All hail to the King Lancer. 10 out of 10. Next, we have Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo Evo. It's a fairly decent car. This car manages to go at the speed of 316 km per hour and has an acceleration of 83, which is good. The handling is smooth though the drifting is a bit wide and the nitro is just average. Not too strong but not too weak either. In multiplayer, this car tends to perform just as good as you need. The performance of this car is plenty to take you to higher leagues. If you want to get this car, I would say grinding in the key hunt used to be the only option. And if grind is not possible, then you could have just collected the guaranteed blueprint. However, this car in Spotlight might make things a bit easier for you. 2 out of 10. Next, we have Alfa Romeo Giulia GTAm. This car is average for the most part. This car tries to be jack of all trade but fails miserably. And the key culprit that dragged this car down a lot is its handling and drifting. It is just not ideal for twisty track. And for straight track, this car is at disadvantage at the hand of TVR Griffith. If any of you watching who knows how to handle the Griffith, you will eat this car for breakfast. This car handles and drifts like Infinity Project Black S. It manages to go at the speed of approximately 326 km per hour. Let me know if I'm somewhat wrong about the speed. The acceleration at 77 is not the greatest thing because you have Volkswagen Electric R in the same class. The nitro is decent, but if you go for this car, the problem is that amateur player will be using BMW i8 Roadster or Porsche Taycan Turbo S instead of this car, and pro will be using the Griffith. So this car tries to be one size fits all but fits to no one. 2.5 out of 10. Next, we have Volkswagen Electric R. Call it IDR or Electric R or whatever your heart desires. But this car is strong contender in Class D. The most remarkable stat of this car is its acceleration, which is 88, a leading acceleration stat in the game. The car manages to go at the speed of 301 km per hour. The handling is good, but the drifting works in a very weird way, that this car just keeps gaining traction, losing traction. The nitro is not much, but it is also not needed. This car used to be available in Clash Tour, but now given the club clash is over, it was yet to be seen as to where it will get featured. My personal assumptions were either Spotlight event or Gotland, and guess what? It did feature in Spotlight event. Now if you ask me, I don't really use this car. I use my Porsche Taycan Turbo S most of the time, but this car is solid 3 out of 10 for me. Next, we have the Lamborghini Centenario. It is the worst S-Class car in the game. Looking at it in the Spotlight, I can't help but ask GameLoft, why bother? Let's break down the stat. The Centenario reaches a top speed of 378 km per hour, which is ironically not even enough of a speed for S-Class standards. The acceleration stat is 80, which is average at best. The car has somewhat stiffer handling and the drifting is absolutely atrocious. It feels sluggish to the extreme. The nitro stat is strong, but it does not save the grace for the overall performance of this car. You can use this car in multiplayer to try your luck, but this car will give you variable results. It is not the thing that will amaze you, rather it may frustrate you. If you want to go for this car, never spend tokens or even credits on this car. Just play daily car loot and you will manage to unlock it. 3 out of 10. Next, we have Lamborghini Asterion, and I have a lot of respect for this car since this is a car that you can get for free when you are a beginner in the game. This car sits in bottom of Class B. It goes at the speed of 350 km per hour. So yeah, another 4-star car which goes nearly as fast as Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport. The acceleration at 81 is fairly decent. The handling is good, but the prolonged drifting is not good. The car is bouncy, so you can also do floaties and punch drifting, and the nitro efficiency is thumbs up. This car is not extraordinary in multiplayer, but for a beginner, it will do the job to some extent. 3.5 out of 10. Next, we have Aston Martin Vulcan, and I won't lie to you, there is so much nostalgia players have with this car, but it performs terrible in the game. This car is positioned at the start of Class A, which means that this is the worst car in Class A. This car manages to go at the speed of 357 km per hour. The acceleration stat is 78, which is low in my opinion. The handling is fine, but the drifting is extremely sluggish. In prolonged drifting session, this car like Cadillac CN just loses ton of a speed. Now don't get me wrong, the top speed is decent to compete, but the drifting drags this car down a lot. The nitro is good, but it does not save the grace case for this car. This car is available everywhere, but the performance does make you question like, why bother? It is only good for collectible. 4 out of 10. Next up, we have Dodge Viper ACR. This is a classic OG car. This car is one of the best old cars in Class C. It goes at the speed of 317 km per hour. The acceleration stat at 77 is quite low, but this car has extremely good handling and drifting, and the nitro efficiency is stellar. The weak point for this car is low acceleration, but it is not so much of a problem since the other stats are very good. The car is very easy to obtain even if you skip the showroom event entirely, so for beginners I would highly recommend going for this car, but try not to spend token on it. 4 out of 10. Next we have Mclaren GT, and my opinion about this car is slightly controversial. This car goes at the speed of 353 km per hour. It is referred to be king of Class C, if not king to be exact, then maybe like a co-king that you can call it. The acceleration stat is 80, which is decent. However, this is where the controversy begins. People say that it has extremely good handling and drifting. I would agree with the handling, but the prolonged drifting feels lacking to me. It's a controversial opinion, but I think Vencer and Gallardo drift better than this car because they maintain tight drifting radius. This car often goes wide and the nitro is decent. But hey, if this is just a me being a noob thing, then who cares? I would 100% recommend going for this car. It is a spotlight car and it is also available at Lions too. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Ferrari Daytona SP3, and unfortunately I don't intend to speak about this car as for now because I want to test this car in a max retry season and feature it in the short. But in short, this car is bad. I'm not aware of the stat to be exact, but this car is boat of Class C. Just like the AMG GT Black Series, it is awful to drift. Blank out of 10. Next up, we have Pagani Huayra R, released in the name of King of Class B, and it did not have the stat to even compete with Apollo N. I actually hated this car, and I still do. This car managed to go at the speed of 391 km per hour. The acceleration stat at 83 is only good thing about this car. The handling is decent, but it is extremely sluggish with the drifting, and the mediocre nitro does not help this car much. So on twisty track, this car is at disadvantage, yes, but sometimes even on straight track, the momentum of this car can break down easily. If you hate ER9, then I would hate to break it to you that this car is even worse than ER9. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Mclaren Solus GT. This car is wasted in my opinion. By wasted, I mean that the stats are not so much ideal with this car. This car should have been made a Huracan competitor, but it is not. It only manages to go at the speed of 349 km per hour, which is too slow in my opinion. The acceleration is top notch at 90, extremely powerful. The handling and drifting are amazing and the nitro is decent for the acceleration that this car has. But when it comes to going for this car, it really does beg the question, because Huracan is 9 km per hour faster than this car and the gap is not that much far apart. And given the fact that Huracan is pretty easy to get, what scenario would you define going for this car? The answer is not very many except this car getting featured in a special event. I think that Huracan will already get you covered. However, this car will easily get you covered in Gotland. 5.5 out of 10. Next up, we have Arrinera Hussarya 33. Allow me to take you to a trip of nostalgic days where Arrinera Hussarya 33 ruled Class C. I think it is for a period of 3 to 4 years. And now this car is going to be featured in the upcoming Spotlight event, which is definitely a plus point. Arrinera manages to go at the speed of 366 km per hour. The acceleration stat is meh at 78, but here comes the bit negative of Arrinera. It is a bit stiff to steer and drifting radius is wide. And for the nitro, it is something that you cannot be careless with. Besides Spotlight, this car is available at Leinster, but in general, this car is not made for twisty track. It is made to rule the straight one. Here I have one suggestion for you. If you think that this car is problematic being stiff to steer, then Vencer is an extremely good option. It goes slower, but it is extremely agile with good drifting radius, and that car can nail twisty track. I would say better than Arrinera, because Arrinera is compromised with handling. As for Arrinera, 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Apollo IE. The beast of the intense emotion is back in a car hunt, and it is also a feature car in DS12. So it is a combo of two very different emotions. Apollo IE manages to go at the speed of 362 km per hour. Compared to Apollo N, it is very low top speed, but on its own it is extremely good. The acceleration stat is 84, which is also strong. The car has extremely good handling and drifting, and the nitro efficiency is extremely good. It is available at Leinster. This car is not made for straight track, but it will dominate the Gotland and twisty track. Try not to spend any token on this car. You can spend token on ticket refills. However, if grind is not possible, then just simply collect the guaranteed blueprint. 7 out of 10. Next we have Ferrari 488 GTB Challenge Evo. This car is like 599XX Evo sitting at top of class B. Not the fastest but well rounded and good car. Now whether or not it's a Huracan killer, it really is the matter of your preference. People say that it is a Huracan killer, but I tend to disagree. I have this car at 3 star and the performance is okayish. When you look at the performance of this car manages to go at the speed of 365 km per hour. The acceleration stat is 82, which is fine. The handling and drifting of this car are enough to get the job done. They are good and sufficient on most of the track. The nitro efficiency is strong. Now when you ask that should I go for it, I really can't recommend it. I think your tokens are better spent on cars like FLM or Revuelto. If you think of the notion of it being a Huracan killer, well, it really depends if you have this car or not. Whether you do or you don't, chances are you might as well carry on using the Huracan. Moreover, let me know your opinion. 7 out of 10. Next we have Bugatti Centodiechi. This car is terrible for its performance for the price that you once had to pay to unlock it in its Drive Syndicate. But that has become relic of the past, and there's no use discussing that. But this car is a handling oriented car and does not offer much in terms of top speed. The car manages to go at the speed of 418 km per hour. The acceleration at 86 is good, more like Vanda of class S, but I'm not saying that it is necessarily is. The handling and drifting are good and the nitro is better than most S-class car. Even though this car is slower, it tends to maintain its top speed pretty well. So if you are facing a noob in a Tuatara, chances are you might win in this car. But beside that, I do not see much of a point going for it. Because let's be real, that noob situation that I shared with you, it is not gonna happen all the time. At higher multiplayer leagues, players are more skilled and they know how to drive any car properly. So next to them, you in this car might not even finish podium. 7.5 after. Next we have Mclaren 600 LT Spider, and congratulations, you have gotten a chance to take another beast to your garage from the car hunt. Plus it is also a feature car in DS12. 600 LT manages to go at the speed of 354 km per hour. You may complain that this is not a good top speed and you are not wrong, but the rest of the stats are absolute gem. It has 86 acceleration stat which is really powerful, but this car has hands down one of the very best handling and drifting. The drifting radius is very good and the nitro is strong. It is jam packed with good stuff to nail over the Huracan without trying too hard. And what happens when you nail over the Huracan? Well, I don't need to explain it much. 8 after. Next we have Ferrari F8 Tributo, and right off the bat this is one of the great A-class car that you can get. This car is extremely good and upgraded version of Rimac Concept 1 and Vanda Electric Dendrobium. When you look at the stat of this car manages to go at the speed of 375 km per hour. The acceleration at 83 is not the top notch, but it is extremely good. The handling and drifting are on a whole different level. This car has one of the highest handling stat in the game, and the nitro is enough to get the job done, helping the car to maintain its top speed. When you look at this car is not for straight track or for slipstream season. It will dominate the competition on twisty track. It is an absolute behemoth for Godland. Overall, you will have nothing to complain about this car except top speed. But if you complain about that, I assume that you already have cars like Imola or Jaguar XJR-9. And if you don't have them, well, you are cooked. 8.5 after. Next we have Tomaso P72. This car is like that amazing spicy woman that you see but struggle to communicate with. This is what this car reminds me of. Now how are you in your dating life with women? That's a different topic. But wait, you don't have one. But this car is extremely hot, I would say. And I'm glad that it delivers in the name of performance as well. That I would prefer to own it. This car manages to go at the speed of 390 km per hour. This is not the fastest, but it is also not slow. The acceleration at 82 is decent. The handling is pretty good and the drifting radius is also good. I don't know, but it feels like it can do floaties, but let me know if I'm wrong. The nitro is also strong. The car is extremely good and I'm glad that they made this car more accessible. When I made this car bright white, I love the gold chrome accent on the wheels and on the mirrors. So I think this is the car that you would bite your lips looking at. Let me know if I have gone too far with this reference. 9 out of 10. Next we have Jaguar XJR-9. It is one of the fastest Jaguar in the game. Love it or hate it, but you cannot avoid it. This car is king of class A and manages to go at the speed of 432 km per hour. The acceleration is one of the worst, 69 to be exact.
Tu samjha?
The handling is agile and the drifting is tight, and the nitro is also a step in the right direction. The nitro is extremely strong to make up for the bad acceleration, but still, this car is something that you will stay behind 60% portion of the track, and then you will manage to rocket past your competition. But in order to succeed while doing it, this car actually requires skill to drive, and as for the noob that I am, prove that I don't have them. Taming this car is the hard part. This is not something that anyone can do, but once you do it, you are unstoppable. At this point, I have a wish that is too good to be true. I wish this car to come in a special hunt. I am assured that this would drive the community wild and everyone will be trying hard to get it, no matter how bad the drop rates might be. Should you go for it? Well, that's a big affirmative in my book. 9.5 out of 10. Next up, we have Deus Vayanne. This might or might not be the main car of the Spotlight event. Anyway, this car is just an upgraded version of Trion Nemesis, which even though goes slower than the Trion but excels really faster. The Deus manages to go at the speed of 461 km per hour. Not the fastest, but very good top speed. The acceleration stat is 86, which is also very good. Compared to Trion Nemesis, Deus nails the handling and drifting too. It is extremely nimble and drifting radius is very tight, and the Nitro, just like the Trion, is challenging. You would have to be careful with the drifting of this car because it drifts so sharp that it goes inside. It has been featured in Burst of Speed previously, now it has been released in Spotlight event. Thumbs up in my opinion. 9.5 out of 10. Next up, we have Bugatti Chiron. This car is OGB's. Name this car in the community and without a second thought, you will find a lot of respect for this car, even with the shortcoming that this car has. Chiron manages to go at the speed of 467 km per hour, which is not top notch given the current kings in the game, but it is enough to give them a decent fight. The acceleration stat at 84 is extremely good, even though this car is not king anymore, but in the old days, a king that goes at this speed and excels this much faster would basically mean that the Chiron's supremacy is uncontested. The handling is extremely good and the drifting is very tight. It can also do punches and floaties, but there is only one shortcoming of Chiron. You hit a wall too hard, you will flip to your side, and there is nothing that you can do about it. And the Nitro is just as good as it is required. The car is available at Legends Store at garage level 20, and for the reliability, except that wall riding issue, you can use this car anywhere and won't be disappointed. It is just perfect car in my opinion. 9.5 out of 10. Lastly, we have Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut. To be fair though, this car is way out of my league. Just like Bugatti Bolide was featured in Absolut Drive Syndicate, yes, this previous Drive Syndicate car is going to be as a feature car for the Arash Imperium Drive Syndicate, which is hands down the DS12. Now there are two types of players, one who hate the Absolut and prefer other cars over it, and others who have the Absolut and also know how to use it properly. Absolut manages to go at the speed of 550 km per hour, which is so far one of the fastest cars in the game. The acceleration stat is 83, which is decent, and here comes the trickier part. Absolut tends to excel while wall riding. So while it can't float like all the time, wall riding is definitely recommended. And this is the thing that people either hate or love about this car. This wall riding problem may or may not get fixed in the future. But since it is going to be featured in DS12, don't expect to lay your hand on this car too easily. It will be a lot harder to unlock. 10 out of 10. Before we close everything, I want to have some discussion. During the live stream, I have received this question a lot, that a lot of kings have been made available to everyone in like all the classes. So you were basically questioning that, is GameLove cooking the new king? Well, it turns out it was not only the king that they were cooking. The new update has a lot of promising stuff, and GameLove deserves some round of applause for it. But for the Arash Imperium, I'm afraid that it may turn out to be a Tartarus 2.0, but it is yet to be seen. Apparently there is going to be a LEGO Spotlight as well, but since 3 or so LEGO cars have been released yet, I will feature them in a different video. If you like this video, then make sure to check out this video next where I have discussed the previous Spotlight cars.